Hello everybody, welcome to Osirati Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so please subscribe to the channel. Also drop a like on this video, helps the video do better, and it only takes you 1 second. I know you're hearing me talk right now and saying drop a like and then you're not doing it, but like, it's not that hard. It's right there. Just do it. So today's video is weird because there's only really one full game that I'm reacting to. Well, I guess there is two technically, but one of them I watched yesterday. There was no late game post-game recap because I was extremely tired from having gone to the game the day before, so I ended up just going to bed early, which is not typical of me. But I did watch Rockets versus the Mavericks. However, because that game was from the other day, it's mostly left my memory, so I'm just going to talk about what I did see for the most part. By the way, if this is not evident, I just look at box scores to supplement, to like remind myself of shit that happens. I'm not just like reading box scores here. But this game was interesting. I was watching it specifically for the Mavericks because let's be real, the Rockets are not a particularly good team, even though I love Christian Wood. Not great enough that I'm going to watch a lot of Rockets games. Granted, Jalen Green is really fun, so that might change things eventually. But watching this for the Mavericks, of course, because they have been, let's just say, iffy offensively because of Jason Kidd. This game, we get a 15-man rotation, which is a hell of a thing. According to Kidd, there was some like player committee leadership committee of 3 people that told him to do it. So that was weird. I guess it's fine to do it against the Rockets, but like, you know, you probably should not be playing fringe rotation players against good teams. There wasn't a whole lot to say. It felt like Luka did more on-ball stuff this game than he had in the other game that I watched, where he was doing way too much stuff off-ball. And as the guy who's been saying, well, not even actually, that's a poor descriptor of it. There was just people doing stuff while Luka just kind of stood there. There wasn't even really beneficial off-ball stuff. It was just a player who's not as good as Luka is dribbling the ball now. And it's like, you can supplement that with Luka doing stuff off-ball, but they just weren't. This time around, it really felt like the ball was in Luka's hands 90% of the time, which I would like that to be fixed, but they also don't really have the personnel for it. Granted, Jalen Brunson did have a double-double off of the bench. Reggie Bullock, the box score tracks. I remembered him having a really good shooting night. He had one shot that I think was at the end of a buzzer that was a pump fake sidestep three-pointer. It might not have been. It might have been like a shot clock, not a game clock buzzer, but I don't remember. And on the Houston side of things, Christian Wood struggled from the field. He grabbed a lot of rebounds. Kevin Porter's playmaking looked better than it had in some of the other games where people were questioning whether or not he could play point guard. He got 8 assists, so that's nice. Eric Gordon was like, I'd say Eric Gordon and Daniel Tice were like the only guys who were exceeding their normal levels offensively, if not underperforming, because he had 22 off of the bench and Daniel Tice had 15 and he hit 3 3-pointers. So there was also a couple of plays in this one where Christian Wood had like a nice connection to Daniel Tice and vice versa. But yeah, I have very little to say about this game because I forget shit like this like real fast. I'll remember trends, but there was not too much to say about this game. Another one I remember, Maxi Kleba. He hit 3 3-pointers, but I swear all of those came in the same quarter, if I'm not mistaken. At least 2 back-to-back. But other than that, not much to say about that game. So let's move on to the, where is it? The Heat versus Nets game. The Nets lost by 13, and once again, they score under 100 points when you have James Harden and Kevin Durant on your team. And James Harden, once again, not a lot of points. He has 14 in this one, and once again, he got 3 free throw attempts. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, which is cool, but need to be getting more from that. And, like, look, I understand that James isn't getting to the foul line as much and all that, but he also shot the ball 12 times. I don't know what is up. It's literally that he's just not being aggressive. It's not even that he can't make shots, even though, yeah, he did shoot 4 for 12 in this one. But he's just not really going for it. And it's like, I don't know who flipped a switch and turned James Harden passive, but this is concerning, I'll say. 5 games in now. I just made a video over on my main channel saying he'll figure it out. I still think he will, but come on, dude. Let's cut this shit out. Snap out of it. Kevin Durant in this game was very whatever. He only had 25, which it's weird to say only 25, but for Kevin Durant, it's only 25. Not particularly standing out. He did have a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter to put some life back into the Nets, but that was pretty much it. Blake Griffin, actually, he didn't do shit. He had a lob and he hit a three-pointer, and I feel like I remember those plays so prominently. I thought he did more than he actually did. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this game on the net side of things. It was just more of the same shit that I've been talking about, where their offense does not look very fluid, and it devolves into a Kevin Durant one-on-one game, and it's really just not working. On Miami side of things, Jimmy Butler did the thing that Jimmy Butler does, which is he didn't really seem like that aggressive scoring-wise. He did shoot 18 shots, but but it was fine. Obviously, they won the fucking game. Kyle Lowry, 1 point and 1 assist shy of a double-double. Bam Adebayo had a fantastic game. As Brooklyn was starting to make a run, Bam Adebayo got a putback dunk off of a Jimmy Butler miss. That was big. Tyler Hero in this game shot a lot of shots, did not make many of them. Though I will say overall I'm still pretty high on Tyler Hero this season based on what I have seen. His season averages are now 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. I can't imagine the efficiency is outstanding, but I think, it's good. Dwayne Dedman had a good game as well. It was pretty much just a team effort from the Heat. There was, other than Bam Adebayo having moments, it was mostly just, playing the offense as it typically is, and there was not a whole lot to say. PJ Tucker scored 15 points. Holy shit, that's like a million points for PJ Tucker. I didn't even realize he had scored that many. That's insane. I knew he hit a couple. I think he hit 1 or 2 corner threes, but wow, that is a lot of points for PJ Tucker. Moving on to the last 2 minutes of Pelicans versus Hawks. That's why I meant by it's weird, because there's kind of 2 games to cover, and then I have these other 2 games that I watch a little bit of. Trae Young, great game from him. I'm just looking at the box score for that. I only watched the last 2 minutes of this game. There was an incredible Euro step from Herbert Jones, who played for Alabama last year and was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. I know this because I watch Alabama football, college football. My dad watches their football and basketball, so I heard about the guy a couple of times. And when we played the Pelicans the other day, my dad was like, "Oh, cool, it's Herbert Jones playing." But yeah, he had a really cool Euro step. The defense completely disrespected him. He's like, "All right, I'll just take it to the rim." He defended Trae Young on a couple of possessions and defended him well. Unfortunately, however, Atlanta got some offensive rebounds from John Collins with a putback dunk and another really big offensive rebound that I don't know is translated directly into points, but more possession time and stuff like that. And the Pelicans, there was a drive by Devontae Graham that you could have argued was a foul. I know Doris Burke was saying it should have been a foul. Was not called. And then Brandon Ingram airballed a mid-range shot for the win. He might have roughly grazed the rim, but did not drop. And then they didn't have any timeouts. Free throws were hit. 1.5 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, that was that game. I wish I had watched more because it was close, but I just caught the last 2 minutes of it. And then I watched the fourth quarter of, where is this fucking game? Okay, Celtics versus Wizards. It was a very close game going into it. As soon as I turn on the game, the Wizards go on like a big run. There was a brief stretch where the Celtics were doing things. Jaylen Brown, who was 1 for 11, hit like 2 mid-range shots, and I think he got a drive as well. He did almost all of his scoring in the fourth quarter because he hadn't done shit for the other parts of the game. Dennis Schroeder hit a weird 3 where he missed it, and then the offensive rebound came back to him in the corner, and Spencer Dinwiddie struggled to run and get the rebound, and it went to Dennis. But other than that, not a whole lot offensively for the Celtics. Jason Tatum did miss a layup, which is not ideal. And looking at his shooting for this game, he went 1 for 8 from outside, which is also not ideal. Marcus Smart went 1 for 7, and he was 1 for 9 versus the Hornets of the game that I went to. So not a great start for Marcus Smart so far this year. But looking at the Wizards side of things, this game I came in and it was Aaron Holiday hit 2 floaters. And then it was really the Spencer Dinwiddie show. Looking at the box score, Montrezl Harrell did a bunch of stuff before this, but Spencer Dinwiddie, 22 points, Had a really nice couple of drives. He hit a big 3-pointer over Al Horford that was kind of the nail in the coffin. Just a very good game from him, and the Wizards just had a good closeout on the Celtics, and the Celtics just kind of disorganized. This team is weird. I don't know what to really think of the Celtics. I might do some deep video on them eventually because some of the struggles from last season have carried over in spite of some new personnel, and I'm starting to get concerned that there are just elements of this team that might be fundamentally a little bit broken and need some drastic change, and I don't know where that begins, but that is something that I will dive into another time. With that said, I've been watching the first like 5 minutes of the Grizzlies game, and I'm going to be watching the rest of that, and that will be the game that I react to after this, so stick around for that, because mostly watching for the Blazers, but hey. But that is it. Goodbye.